Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. So imagine for a second that you get a call from the absolute highest office in the country, right?
Oh boy,
Yeah.
a pretty big deal.
Right. The president wants to hand you a gold medal. It's like the ultimate validation of your life's work. And it's going to be in this huge, grand ceremony broadcast to the entire nation.
I mean, most of us would be picking out our best suit before we even hung up the phone.
Exactly. Yeah. But the man we're talking about today, he didn't even show up. It's wild. But before we jump into this incredible story we have lined up for you, please make sure you subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. So today our sole focus is on this monumental piece of news drawn from a recent Rugby 365 article. On Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, Springbok head coach Rassie Erasmus was officially honored with the National Order of Ikhamanga in gold by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yeah, it's just a staggering moment.
Yeah.
And, to truly grasp the weight of this, we really need to understand what this specific order actually represents. Because this isn't just some trophy handed out by a sports union,
No, not at all.
Right, it's a prestigious national honor. The Order of Ikhamanga is it's specifically designed to recognize South African citizens who have achieved just absolute, undeniable excellence. And here's the crucial part. It is not limited to athletics.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye, too.
Exactly. I mean, this order encompasses arts, culture, literature, music, journalism, and sport. So by receiving this award in gold, Erasmus is basically placed into this incredibly elite, culturally significant group of individuals.
Yeah.
He isn't just being recognized as a great rugby coach. He's being recognized as a literal pillar of the nation's culture.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I have to admit, I'm feeling a bit of cognitive dissonance here. As fans, you and I often think of coaching purely in terms of the technical details, right? Like the X's and O's.
Yeah, the strategies, subs.
Exactly. The substitution strategies, physical conditioning protocols, defensive structures, all that. We view it as a highly specialized, almost mechanical job sometimes. So when you tell me a rugby coach is being recognized alongside the country's greatest novelists and artists and journalists, I'm kind of struggling to connect those dots. How does a guy who draws up line-out formations end up holding a national honor for culture?
Well, that is exactly the right question to ask. And honestly, it's the crucial pivot of this entire story.
Mm-hmm.
The presidency actually addressed that exact transition in their official statement. They didn't nominate Erasmus because of his win-loss percentage or his defensive statistics.
Right. It wasn't about the math on the field.
No, not at all. The nomination was specifically for his, and I quote, inspirational leadership in national and international rugby that has propelled the Springboks to repeated Rugby World Cup championships. But they didn't stop there. They contextualized what those victories actually did.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, the official statement noted that these on-field victories have advanced social cohesion among South Africans and raised the nation's esteem in the international community.
I mean, I have to stop you there and push back just a little bit, because we hear that phrase, social cohesion, thrown around by politicians all the time, right?
Constantly, yeah.
It can sound like a really convenient political buzzword. If I'm a listener sitting at home, I might think, come on, it's just 80 minutes of entertainment on a Saturday. How does a rugby match actually change the social fabric of an entire country? Like, what is the actual mechanism there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely fair pushback. So let's look at the how and the why. Social cohesion isn't created just because people are watching the same television screen.
Right, obviously.
It is created when a deeply diverse group of individuals, like players from completely different socioeconomic backgrounds, speaking different languages, carrying different historical baggage.
Right.
When they are seen operating with absolute, unbreakable unity toward a single, agonizingly difficult goal.
Wow, yeah, when you put it like that.
Yeah, and when a coach engineers an environment where those differences are not just managed, but actually harnessed into a unified force that conquers the world, it provides a working model for the nation itself. It stops being just a game and becomes a tangible demonstration. It proves to the citizens that unity isn't just some political talking point. It is a highly effective winning strategy.
That makes total sense. So it's not the victory itself, it's the blueprint they use to get there. They are projecting a working model of a unified society.
Exactly.
And the presidency also mentioned raising the nation's esteem internationally, which is huge. And hey, we would absolutely love to hear from you on this exact point. Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. How do you see a rugby victory translating into actual international esteem for a country?
It's such a fascinating dynamic to think about, right? Because when a team operates with that level of cohesion and, well, repeated excellence on the global stage, they become the primary ambassadors for their country's brand. The international community watches the World Cup, and the image they absorb of South Africa is one of resilience, strategic brilliance, and unified power.
Yeah, they see a unified powerhouse.
Right, and it fundamentally alters the geopolitical perception of the nation. To see that mechanism officially recognized by the highest office in the country, it confirms that this impact is not just, romanticized fan fiction. It is a measurable, tangible shift in how the country views itself and how the world views the country.
Which brings us perfectly to the reaction from within the rugby world itself. But before we get into how the sports leadership reacted to this incredible validation, I want to give you a quick reminder to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. We also strongly encourage you to share your positive thoughts and opinions on Rassie's impact down in the comments section. We read every single one, and we really love seeing how you interpret these massive moments in the sport.
Oh, absolutely.
So now looking at the internal reaction, SA Rugby President Mark Alexander called the award a fitting recognition. So what does this all mean?
Well, Alexander's response basically gives us the internal validation of what the president was saying from the outside. He emphasized that Rassie's achievements have actively united South Africans across communities, right? He stated that Erasmus has instilled a spirit of pride and togetherness through the game.
Yeah, a sense of belonging.
Exactly. But the phrase that really anchors this, the one that stands out, is when Alexander referred to Rassie as a true son of the South African soil.
Oh, man, that is heavy. I mean, that is a massive statement. He didn't just call him a great employee of the union or, like, a brilliant tactician.
Nope, not at all.
A true son of the soil. It completely bypasses the sport and grounds his identity in the land itself. It's incredibly powerful.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating here is the acknowledgement that a coach's vision leaves what Alexander called an indelible mark. Like, think about that word. Indelible.
Right, meaning it can't be removed.
Yeah, it means it cannot be erased or washed away. It's permanent. Alexander is pointing out that this leadership style leaves a permanent mark, not just on the record books of the sport, but on the nation itself. It validates the idea that social cohesion is actively engineered, right? It doesn't just happen by accident. It requires an architect.
It's like an architect who doesn't just build a functional stadium, but actually changes the way the entire city flows around it. The building is rugby, but the infrastructure is national pride.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it's the ultimate confirmation that the grueling work they do behind closed doors matters on a really profound societal level. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because with all this grandeur, all these massive quotes about national esteem, indelible marks, and presidential decrees, there is a brilliant, incredibly grounded reality about Tuesday's ceremony.
Oh, yeah. The irony of this moment is just perfection.
Right. Like, you picture this glamorous presidential event in Pretoria. The national anthem is playing. The gold medal is gleaming. Cameras are flashing everywhere. Politicians are applauding. And Rassie Erasmus wasn't even there. His lawyer, Rassie Erasmus, had to awkwardly step up to the podium and receive the national order on his behalf.
I mean, sending your lawyer to accept the highest civilian honor in the country from the president is just, it's an image that perfectly encapsulates the entire philosophy of this team.
It really is. But I have to admit, part of me looks at that and thinks, wait, isn't that a little arrogant? The president of your country is handing you a gold Order of Ikhamanga, and you send your lawyer. Like, where was the man of the hour?
Well, he was exactly where he needed to be. The boat coach was in Cape Town, attending an alignment camp.
An alignment camp.
Yep. And if you want to understand the how and the why behind everything we've just discussed, like the repeated World Cup championships, the social cohesion, the international esteem, you have to look absolutely no further than that single fact.
Okay, so break that down for us, because alignment camp sort of sounds like corporate jargon, right? What is he actually doing down in Cape Town that is more important than accepting a gold medal from the president?
It is the ultimate dedication to the method over the glory. You see, an alignment camp is not your traditional training camp. They aren't just out on the pitch running passing drills and hitting tackling bags.
So it's not just physical reps.
Exactly. No. An alignment camp is the psychological and strategic crucible where the foundation of that social cohesion is actually poured. It's where they synchronize the minds of the coaching staff and the players before the physical work even begins.
Wow, so it's all mental first.
Yeah, it's where the brutally hard conversations happen. It's where everyone in that organization is forced to look at the exact same roadmap and agree on the exact same destination.
I see. So it's like calibrating a highly complex piece of machinery. You don't just turn a massive engine on and hope the gears catch. If you are even a millimeter off in your alignment, the whole thing just shatters under pressure. So Rassie is in Cape Town, making sure the gears are perfectly calibrated while his lawyer is taking the photos.
Exactly. I mean, why does a leader achieve the highest national order a country can bestow? Because instead of standing in front of the cameras to soak in the glory of the past, he is doing the grueling, unglamorous background work for the future. He intrinsically understands that the gold medal is merely a byproduct of the alignment camp, not the other way around.
That is such a crucial distinction.
Right. If he steps away from the process, even for one day of national celebration, he compromises the very machine that generates the pride and unity for the country in the first place.
That completely subverts our expectation of what a hero's victory lap looks like, doesn't it? In this system, the victory lap is just a return to the grind. It is such an incredibly grounded reality to contrast with the high-level national honors.
Yeah, it really puts it in perspective.
You literally have the president handing over a shiny medal to a lawyer while the coach is sitting in a windowless conference room with a whiteboard in Cape Town, figuring out the absolute microscopic details of the next phase of play. I mean, it is brilliant.
It really is. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it leaves us with a highly provocative question to consider. We have just seen documented proof that rigorous alignment, demanding standards, and cohesive leadership strategies used in a rugby camp can literally result in nationwide social cohesion and elevated international esteem.
Yeah, the presidency itself confirmed the cause and effect there.
Exactly. So, if that is the case, how might those exact same methods be applied to other areas of society entirely outside of sport?
Oh man, that is a fantastic thread to pull.
Right? Think about it. If we treated community building or local government or organizational leadership with the same relentless, uncompromising focus on alignment and shared goals before we even started the physical work, what kind of indelible marks could we leave?
Yeah, seriously.
What if a business ran an alignment camp before they launched a product, focusing on absolute psychological unity rather than just profit margins? The blueprint exists, and we know it works.
That is a phenomenal question to leave you with. How do we take that alignment camp mentality, that dedication to method over glory, that calibration of the machinery, and bring it into our own communities, our own homes, or our workplaces? We really want you to drop your thoughts and opinions on that question down in the comments. We read them all, and it is always fascinating to see how you apply these rugby concepts to everyday life. And as we wrap up this deep dive into leadership and national pride, I want to give you one final reminder to please subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.